Yeah, again, the recording is started. Yeah, so you didn't, so they don't want to, let's say, to establish something new once DOI is working still.
Yeah, we applied for funding with this idea to create a network of persistent identifiers for Latin America. Especially, we thought it with the ARC as a tool, as a decentralized tool to have multiple installations of ARC, multiple instances of ARC, and then
Yeah.
create a network with the distributed hash table to interconnect them, and so we can have like a Fediverse of persistent identifier. That's the idea that we feel that this is going to be more sustainable. But we applied for funding to create this network and to kickstart it. And it was very much aligned with the open infrastructure, the financing of open infrastructure established in the fund, in the call. But what they say to us is, why do you want a persistent identifier different from DOI if DOI is working? That was the answer from the reviewers, and they didn't accept our proposal. So I don't know. There's a much road to go, especially in the scientific community. The message is not clear on the need for the tool because they feel the problems are solved with DOI. It's like it's a problem that is completely invisible to them.
Okay.
And there are several aspects of this problem. One is that behind DOI are the big editorials, Elsevier, Spring, all those enemies of information flowing freely are behind DOI. The other problem is that the DOI is a centralized structure, so it's a platform. Crossref is a platform. DataSite is a platform where we have a centralized architecture. Of course, at some point that was the answer, but we have tools to create decentralized structures to complement them and to create a more really open and really distributed scientific communication landscape. And if you distribute, then the problem of costs also distributes. So you can have cheap tools that you can develop in community, and you can install decentralized. So a perfect example is the publishing system OGS. And everybody has their own instance of OGS, and we are all publishing journals with the system. So the same could be done for persistent identifier. That is a very critical infrastructure for scholarly communication in order to cite properly, be cited, measure impact. Of course, we will not develop the whole thing at once. It will be developed by community, but first we have to establish that the problem is there and it needs to be solved.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's say now we have another problem, that the problem itself is not so visible. Oh,
Yeah.
Slava is here.
Oh, great.
Yeah, great, rare thing. Can you hear us? Seems no, he's muted. Okay, so please go ahead. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Hi there.
Hi, can you hear
Hello,
us?
Slava.
Hi. how it goes?
Well,
And
let
we
me.
were yeah.
Sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Okay. So just to repeat a bit. I started developing a small, let's say, more than proof of concept and the prototype using OpenDHT as a ledger. And now we did really a good work, I think, on the ideation and on the, let's say, the recognition of the problems. So we have pretty good understanding of what could be done and how it could be done. The thing is, the main problem we're trying to solve, it's let's say not so platform-based persistent identification, is let's say that this problem of platformization is not so visible. So this, let's say, it's very briefly how it goes right now. And also we have planned participation in the FISMAT conference in Venice, and planning now for participation the, in the Open Science Conference. So this is, let's say, very briefly what we are doing right now. Now, Sergio, could you
Open Science Conference where?
Sergio, could you please tell, because I didn't remember so well.
There is one in CERN, and the other one is a German organized German Open Science.
Okay.
What we wanted to see your opinion, Slava, was this idea. We want to create a network of persistent identifiers. The idea is to have like a Fediverse of, like the activity pub protocol is there for social networks, to have a kind of activity pub protocol where different persistent identifiers could communicate with each other. The easiest and more decentralized one that we found are two. One is ARC, and the other one is a PURL. But that one is being URL based is a bit more complicated. But ARC works very good. So if we can have different instances of ARC installed for different museums, universities, that they mint their own ARC, and to have this protocol that will create the activity pub protocol similar to, and will feed a distributed hash table to create a network of persistent identifier. Then you have a very decentralized, very community-based and cheap system for persistent identifier, where you can identify data, you can identify journals, you can identify museum objects, because ARC is very already proven that it works very well with that. What do you think about this proposal?
Whom you asking?
To use now, what do you think?
I think it makes sense, and this is why I'm actually joining to figure out what's happening, because also I'm participating in a couple of hackathons, and I put the idea for Dataverse on agenda. So that's something that people are going to. It's kind of similar idea, but related to Dataverse data platform, and they also announced some prices. Like if someone will implement, they will get, I don't know, $10,000 or something as a prize. So hopefully something will be created and open source, so we can basically take it and continue development in this respect. So that's something that we need some foundation, to continue, because what I see now, it's we have a lot of discussions and about decentralization, but not so much is happening. There are not so many prototypes because we need money and it's difficult to get money. So I decided to basically to continue in other way because if there is some opportunity and obviously this kind of hackathons, they can attract a lot of people with skills to implement something. So if there is something working, we can also improve and we can offer to community to contribute in this. So if it's ARC, it's also fine. It's good idea. But do you really have something working right now before start to advertise this to community?
Okay. So the thing is now what we have is a Google Drive directory with a prototype work in progress. And now what I may tell what I am doing. I am writing the tests to integrate together OpenDHT, Git, and let's say key-based ledgering to obtain the cryptographical recognition of an agent, and afterwards to let's say to put the arbitrary Git-based data on the let's say from one side the distributed backend like IPFS, but the local IPFS node, and Git, because this is what has already done. After the test with the recognition of an agent will work, we could say that it's a proof of viability. I don't know exactly when I will be able to roll it out, because actually now I had a very serious incident some weeks ago at Elettra, and I spent a lot of time to resolve it. And it is, for now, it is work in progress, but at least now you will see, just coming to this Google Drive directory, what is happening. Even today, I wrote some lines in the morning and I will upload it by the evening. So let's say it's, at least the things are moving in terms, I started writing some program.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing is I can do it only in my literally spare time, and it is not so much.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm sharing proposal that I've created for a biohackathon. It's based on another proposal it was a proposal where we had French and Austrian researchers, and unfortunately they got rejected, but at least there is something, some kind of discussion about prototype. And this proposal now went to this biohackathon. So let's see what will happen, and hopefully they'll get something, some results, something practical implemented.
Okay, it's great. Just a little question. May I put the link to the document you have just sent into the agenda on the highlights?
Yeah, you just do it. It's yes.
The ID is already recognized as a Web3, no?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
So what we want is basically to create the problem with DID, well, not with DID, this problem with Dataverse, that originally it was developed as a dataset platform. It's data platform. And what we want now is basically to extend Dataverse functionality with other persistent identifiers, also to reuse it for any kind of multimodalities. So for content like video, audio, haptics, so this kind of stuff should get another kind of persistent identifier, and also for artificially created content by AI, something that models can generate. So it will be put in Dataverse, and instead of having DOI or handle, it will be DID created, indicating that this is kind of different material, right? Digitally born, but it's not paper or data set. So, yeah. Yeah.
Dataverse, sorry to interrupt. Dataverse it was initiated in the Harvard University, but it does not depend on Harvard University.
No, it's the international community now. Yeah.
Okay, because they are having trouble right now.
And they
Harvard
will.
University, I mean.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
has a bit of problem now. Not only. And anyway, so it's an international community, and what will be created by participants of biohackathon, if it will be something operational, we can also offer to Harvard to be incorporated in masterbase and also be used for all members of community. So like museums can use, for example, if they would like to, and some exhibitions. So I see a lot of use cases for that. And with recent development in Croissant for machine learning, we also incorporated Croissant now in Dataverse. It can be also easily connected to any kind of machine learning models and frameworks, and you can train new models and you can reuse all stuff. So it will expand all boundaries from going to data, also to be basically reused for multimodalities, like I already mentioned, like sound, video, and any kind of multimodalities. Yeah.
So this the croissant. This was this Google croissant. You make the link.
It's not Google Croissant. It's so I was also the part of Croissant team. So it's a collaboration between academia and industry. However, of course, it was originally initiated by Google, but we also participated in that, and we created implementation for Dataverse to support that.
Okay, and this is like a branch already, is like in the main repository of Dataverse already available.
It's in the main repository, and even in new release, it will be basically producing Croissant for draft datasets. And the reason for that, because Croissant is being recognized by international community, and now, for example, if you want to apply for participation in conferences on machine learning, like Neuralibs, you have to create Croissant, you have to submit all metadata in Croissant, and this is how it will be taken, and they can also run some artificial intelligence, do verification, validation, and other stuff. So Croissant is being basically adopted already on this level, and I'm expecting other conferences will follow this way. And yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. Just I need to understand the whole architecture. Does need this space or any repository, or itself can be deployed as a repository?
It's a base standalone repository. You can deploy it, you can install it, and you can use it straight away.
And how hard is to?
Now we created one-liner, so basically it's like this. If you have Docker installed even on your computer, you can just run Docker Compose, and it will do installation completely independently. So
of the whole thing.
Of the whole thing.
Dataverse.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, like a university can run its own data repository.
That's right.
By deploying with this.
Yes, without any extra efforts.
And what you are proposing is that that data repository could be also an institutional repository, so no need to have a DSpace and a Dataverse.
Yeah.
So if we have the ID, like the handle is working with DSpace, then that Dataverse will mint its own persistent identifier for its own repository.
That's right. Yeah.
Solution for institutions like universities to have everything in one place.
Yes.
And connected.
Yeah. So the biggest problem with adoption.
So it could be like a CRISP model as well. So where researchers, data, work, everything is.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The biggest problem of Dataverse at the moment and other data repositories, well, except of Zenodo, of course, and Vimeo, that if you want to run your own platform and you want to follow all these FAIR standards, you have to also to request DOI. which is not free, and you have to pay someone like DataSite or someone else or Crossref.
And we were just talking about that because also that is the invisible problem in the open science that is not being addressed. We want to in our development to make people conscious of the problem that the DOI dependence, because it's a centralized, it's a platform, it's privately owned, all the big publishers are behind it. It's a big problem. But once your line goes against DOI, then the funding disappears. Also, that we are finding out, because they don't expend money on technical development. They spend money on maintaining their status quo and their how to say, they are community managers. They have people like giving us sponsoring things, and they maintain the structure. But if we really think on open science and the need for the decentralized infrastructure in order to create a really plural and more like without the differences that they are now with the north and the south, and well, it's a big difference. Even within the north, if you have money or you don't have money, then you have the inequalities there.
I would say there are two different challenges. So first challenge is obviously covered by this DOI story, but this is for sustainable data, and that's fine. So I mean, DataSite is doing a great job to maintain the whole data landscape, and we're not basically interfering in that. What I'm proposing here is to create a kind of new landscape for artificially created data and any kind of digital materials, including synthetic data, where we are not able to assign any. So we know it was created by some generative AI models, but if you want to basically to describe it and assign real DOI, you will be not able to put any kind of information who has created that. And it should be some solution for that. And this is where I'm suggesting that it should be something like DID in the decentralized network, and it should basically take ownership of the whole thing. So it should be instead of using author as a human, it should be basically putting information that this is I don't know, OpenAI, ChatGPT, or this is Llama or Mistral or something else was as author, as you know. So model is the author, not human.
But the prompter is not it has no responsibility.
I don't know actually. I'm just thinking about how to move forward with all these new challenges, and after we'll see if community will support that.
Okay. But the DOI and the DID, they could be working together.
This is what I'm saying. So it should be we should not break current landscape, but we need to assist this current this data landscape with new solutions which are decentralized.
Yeah. That's why we don't want to break either DOI, but we want to state that it's a centralized infrastructure.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah,
and
this is why we're
and data is exponentially growing.
Mm-hmm.
So you already is like we cannot find how it will be solving the need for identifying data. The data how it's growing exponentially nowadays with the same centralized infrastructure. It will collapse eventually.
This is not concerned here. I mean, it's not our responsibility to think about what will collapse, but what is going to happen with future data, with synthetic data. I think this is interesting topic to discuss.
Yeah, and also this is why actually I have introduced this concept of realms, because it's a linking point. And actually, the concept of decentralized storage for it, it's because it's Git based. It's already could consider it as already tested. So there could be there is a possibility to cache the existing data, but we will see.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Yeah. So yeah, I was really glad to see that in terms of Dataverse and Croissant there are so many things are happening.
Yeah, we're trying our best, and also there is MCP server that we developed. It's powered by Croissant, so you can already ask questions from the whole Dataverse network, and it's responding. It's giving you reliable answers based on knowledge graphs packaged in Croissant. I can also share the link so you can play with it.
Oh yes, yes, it will be
With
really good.
Dataverse from the dance Dataverse.
No, from Harvard.
From Harvard.
Yeah, so there is MCP that already operational, and you can connect to Visual Studio Code or Cursor, and you can do on. And after you can ask any questions like, give me, let's say, some data sets on, I don't know, democracy in US. And basically it knows how to use tools and how to query the whole Dataverse network, where to find information. And after it's giving you data sets, and you can go deeply in deep and ask questions about specific data set, who is author, and what kind of files available, what kind of data, and it's giving you all these kind of answers already. And this is Croissant, obviously. I can also share like GitHub that you can play with some instructions.
Yeah.
So we are going to present next week actually for the Dataverse community meeting this new development.
Perfect. And will you share also your presentation?
Oh yeah, I can do that also.
Yeah,
no
and
problem.
I mean the recording of the presentation.
Yes, it will be recorded. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Because for now it's always useful, even when you don't have a time, but you have an AI.
Yeah, no problem. I can do that.
Yeah, would be really great.
Okay, guys, I need to go now, but I think you have some information now.
Yeah, also from my side, there are not so many news, so I will now stop the recording. And out of the recording, in the last minute, I just want to share something.